raised in the Lone Star Land, with boots on my feet and dreams in my hand. A little sassy but a whole lot of grace. You'll see that fire when you look in my face. I'm a Texas girl with a heart so wide, family and friends always by my side. From the crack of dawn to the stars at night, I keep it real, keep my soul burning bright. Barbecue smoke, Friday night lights, cheering for the Astros under Texas skies. A little bit stubborn, a whole lot of charm. This big old heart will keep you warm. I'm a Texas girl with a heart so wide, family and friends always by my side. From the crack of dawn to the stars at night, I keep it real, keep my soul burning bright. Barbecue smoke, Friday night lights, cheering for the Astros under Texas skies. A little bit stubborn, a whole lot of charm. This big old heart will keep you warm. I'm a Texas girl with a heart so wide, family and friends always by my side. From the crack of dawn to the stars at night, I keep it real, keep my soul burning bright. From the bluebonnet fields to the city streets, every step I take feels like home to me. With a little sass and a lot of pride, this Texas girl's got nothing to hide. I'm a Texas girl with a heart so wide, family and friends always by my side. From the crack of dawn to the stars at night, I keep it real, keep my soul burning bright. Gummy shoe prints, laid them down the street. Chocolate wrappers hiding secrets sweet. They don't miss a beat, they've got a knack. With licorice ropes pulling answers back. Twist the wrapper to reveal the truth. A sticky web spun by a candy sloop. No sour lies can escape the grip. These lollipops always crack the whip.
Well, hello, my friends. Happy Friday. I hope everybody's had a great day today. We made it through the week. Hello to everybody. Hang on just a minute, real quick. All right, thank you. Sorry about that. Needed to get me a drink. Sorry, guys, I was late or not here yesterday. My antibiotics, they gave me are really, really strong. And I was supposed to be taking 2 each day. My doctors got me taking 1 in the morning today, 1 at night time, just to break it up a little bit because I was sick as a dog yesterday. Oh, man. I couldn't even hardly speak without wanting to puke. So it was, ugh. But hello to everybody. So glad y'all are here with us. Hello, Blue Eyes. Hello, Daisy Dukes. How are you? Hey, Smack Talker. Let me see. I got to get back up here to the top. It jumped. Sorry, guys. It'll jump ahead when I move it. So, Cecilia, you enjoy your company, sweetie. Thank you for coming by. And Miss Rhonda, everybody, please keep Miss Rhonda in your prayers. She is still not feeling well. So y'all keep her on your prayer list. Saved by Grace. Hello, darling. Miss Kathy, always good to see you. Let's see who else we got here. TJ, hello to you. And Elaine, good to have you. Hope you're doing well. Lisa King, always good to have you. Charlene, we love having you with us. Let's see. Trying to get through here real quick. Hey, Miss Robin, how you doing? Always good to have you and Miss Peggy. So good to have everybody. Margaret, hello there. And Sugar Beets. Always good to have you. Look at our Teresa gifting the memberships. Awesome. Hang on just a minute. Let me get through saying hi to everybody and we'll welcome our new members. Me and you, Randa. Let's see, Angel of Light. Hello, beautiful. Hi, YouTuber. Hey, Falker's dad. How you doing? Good to have you back with us. Oh, let's see. Anybody else sneaking in? I always like to say hi to everybody that I can. There's Cindy. Hi, Cindy. Good to have you. And Belinda. Good to have everybody. Magic Star. Hello there, sweetie. Kimberly. Oh, no. Y'all, keep Kimberly in your prayers. She says she's been in the hospital with the C, the big C. Oh, goodness, bless your heart. We will definitely keep you on our prayers for recovery. Man, I'm sorry to hear about that. I've been wondering where you were. Hope you feel better soon. Cheryl, hello there. Well, welcome everybody. Thank you all for being here with us today. So good to have you all. Let me get them down in here again and find where we got some new members. Always good to have new members with us. Teresa, thank you so much for gifting the 5 memberships. And if you were the lucky person to get a membership, please tell our beautiful Teresa, thank you so much, because that was so gracious of her. And welcome to the South, y'all. Welcome to the South. We Thank you for that, Teresa. And welcome to our new members. Welcome, welcome, everybody. So good to have y'all. Next week, we will be doing a members live, so you'll be able to join us then. Hello, Sabrina. How you doing? Let's see. Trying to get back over here. Angel of Light. Look how sweet you are. Thank you for that, sweetie. $10. Thank you so much. That was so gracious of you. And here's a little special thank you. We love you and we appreciate you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome, everybody. Hi, Sharon. Everybody coming in. Welcome, welcome. Thank you all for being here. Appreciate each and every one of y'all. Hope everybody's had a good day. And it's the end of the week. Woohoo! We made another week, y'all. So, hey, Kelly. Miss Kelly E's coming in hot with us. Yep. Yesterday was Miss Rhonda's birthday. I was not feeling well, was not here. But today we are going to give her a beautiful happy birthday, one of our very favorite lollipops.
Woke up today with a smile in my heart. It's your special day, a brand new start. The candles are lit, the cake's in sight. Let's make this moment shine so bright. Happy birthday, my dear friend. May your joy today never end. Hope your dreams take flight, soar far. Have a day as sweet as you are. The laughter echoes, the music plays. Memories we'll keep for all our days. Raise a glass to the year ahead, for all the words we've yet to have said. Happy birthday, my dear friend.
Happy birthday, Miss Rhonda. Sorry we weren't here to do that yesterday, but I hope you had a beautiful, special day. Hello, Holly. Hey, West End. Everybody come on in. Hi, Kitty Catty. Thank you all for being here. Appreciate each and every one of you. Linda, did I say hi to you? If not, hello. Welcome, welcome, everybody. So lots of stuff going on in the world, isn't there? It's a very sad time for our whole entire universe when someone doesn't like what you have to say. They feel they have the right to destroy your life and completely take you away from your children and your family. It's just a sad thing. And whether you believe in what he was speaking about or not, that's beside the point. We seem to be living in days here where your opinion seems to matter more than anyone else in the world. And that's just not how the world's supposed to be. And when it comes to you don't like someone for the way they think or the words they say, it's okay just to take a life. We have the beautiful young lady on the train in North Carolina there, she was just sitting there with her ear pods in, reading her book or looking on her phone and reading her phone. And a man who had been released so many times just by signing a piece of paper saying that he'll come back to court, did not know the woman, had no beef with her whatsoever, but he slit her throat while she sat there and she cried and no one helped her. Folks, it's not okay to take a life of anyone. You were not put on this world to unalive someone. That is not for your choice to make, but yet there's people in this world who feel like, yeah, she fled Ukraine. She was a refugee from Ukraine. Her parents and her came to avoid the war that was happening there, the bombs and everything. Had not been here very long, and she is riding, minding her own business, sitting in her own little seat there in the train, and behind her sat a monster. Once again, law enforcement did not do their job well, and she paid the ultimate price. We have a man who spoke up and encouraged young kids, college age especially, to think for themselves and to vote and participate and help make the world a better place and change things that need changing. But there was a young man who felt the need to crawl on top of a building with a long range gun and take that man's life away from him because he didn't believe in the words this man spoke. And once he went down, I heard a news person saying they interviewed someone who was not far away, said they didn't understand why there was a crowd that started cheering when that happened. How is it ever okay enough to cheer for something like that? It's never okay. And folks, believe it or not, we witness this on our true crime community each and every day. The words that are being said, the attacks and the hate that are spreading so far, so deep that it's affecting other creators' families. It's just not okay. But yet, that's the world we're living in. People who feel it's okay to destroy another person's life, no matter whether it's with words, whether it's threats, whether it is calling in against other people, or whether it is videoing someone whose heart is completely broken and laughing and making fun of them, or whether it is they just don't like you. Yeah, Randa, people were on a panel laughing at someone finding out someone passed away. Folks, it's not good. We're living in some truly dark times when there's no humanity left within people. And a lot of people, I saw a lady talking about, she was in her wheelchair, but she was talking about this Mr. Kurt that was unalived at that college, on the college campus there. She said he was speaking out against guns and how they shouldn't be banned. It's not the gun's fault and blah, blah, blah. And she's laughing because it was a gun that took this man's life. She thought it was almost comical like. Folks, I'm going to say this, and I may not be popular after saying this. I do live in a country where I'm fortunate to be in a state where I'm allowed to carry protection with me. I grew up learning how to shoot and to care for those. I firmly believe in everybody has the right to defend themselves or to carry for their own protection or for their family's protection. But when it comes to evil entering a school or a movie theater or shopping center or wherever and releasing rounds by the dozens, no, that's not okay. That's never okay. But until we find help for those who have the right in their mind to go, that they feel they can go in and take lives away, until that problem can be solved, those are just instruments in their hands. If you take them all away, there are still knives, like the K-bar knife that was used at 1122 King Road in Idaho, where 4 were unalived, only with a knife. There's other things that can happen. You have to get down to the mentality of the person that is allowed to handle it. And here we are in true crime talking about missing children. Folks, it's pretty much a given. These children have not disappeared by themselves. They did not vanish off of the face of this earth alone. Even in Sebastian's case, we know there were multiple cameras, even with jammers on at 3 o'clock in the morning. There were still other cameras that were being captured. That's it, Sabrina. The weapon of their choice is not going to make a difference if there's something not right with them in their mind. They will find a way. It will still continue to happen. If all the ammo is taken away and the utensils used with it, there's other ways they're going to go ahead and do it, because they're not okay in their mind. Something is off to cause someone to want to do that. And just like in little Sebastian's case, we know there's no evidence that he ever left his home. Sheriff Craddock said those words. He couldn't have left on his own and vanished without a trace. He couldn't have left that neighborhood without being seen. He was not seen. Therefore, evil is at play. There are some dark minds involved in Sebastian's disappearance, I'm afraid. We've listened the last couple of days to the red flags that the mother and stepfather have thrown out, and we listened to their very first interview they did, not a local news station, not their newspaper, but on YouTube they went, and we listened to that. And in the first 3 minutes, the timeline gets corrected and changed. 3 minutes. The mother tells us what she did. The stepfather, who was not home, comes back behind her and corrects that and changes the timeline. We've yet to have the same timeline put out twice. And when lies are told, when the truth can't be said, there is something, a reason behind not clarifying an exact timeline and staying with it the whole entire time. You have to have a horrible, horrible, dark place inside of your head that thinks it's okay even to remove a child from its home. To do it so nefarious like, and to tell the world he ran away. He went outside that door over there and ran away. Go look over there, out there. Look everywhere but here. They tell us flashlights that we see, 2 light sources in the back of their yard. They try to convince us that law enforcement has proven to them it's a trash truck. Trash truck lights do not separate and go different directions. Trash truck lights are not spread out so far apart that it covers a whole backyard, 4-yard space common area. But yet we're supposed to believe them. Well, we might as well believe in the person laying on the roof that day that pulled that trigger, because it's the same thing. Each and every one has made a choice, and now as we sit here every day trying to figure out exactly what went wrong and what happened and where we can help find him, we're having to muddle through their choices as they try to hide them. We started with the mother and the dad, or the stepfather, but I wanted to make sure we go over Sebastian's dad as well, just to keep it clear and up across the board equal. We've heard their stories, basic from the beginning, saying that muddles down all the different versions. And then all of a sudden we don't hear from them much. And now we don't even hear over here on Sebastian's side, the side that is trying to find this child, and the side that is trying to say, hey, look at all these obstacles. Look at all these red flags. What does this mean? We don't get contact with the stepfather, but he frequents those who make the choice every day to tear apart other people and bully. Seems that he's comfortable with that. Says a lot about his character and what Sebastian's home life could have possibly been like. But we're fixing to go over Seth Rogers, and look at how he is, how he acts, what he says when it comes to talking about finding his son. We're going to hear him tell us what Sebastian is like, what kind of person Sebastian was. We're not going to hear a lot of negative things because his father's very proud of him, it seems. But if at any time, put a red flag in chat and I'll stop if something sounds off to you. And then we'll go from there. I'm going to start this. The first one we're going to listen to here is from Pascal, the Pascal Show. Seth had been on a couple of different places, a little bit here, a little bit there, but this is one interview that he did that I think will be very good for us to go over and to listen to. And I want you to remember the interviews we've been listening to with the mother and the stepfather as we listen to this one. Hi, Alicia. Thanks for coming in. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate each of y'all. While I'm getting this set up, make sure to hit that like button if y'all like what we're doing. If you haven't subscribed, join us. We'd appreciate it. Love to have you. And memberships, they're all there. Would love to have you join us as well. Next week, we'll be doing a members live. And so, all righty. Let me get this going here. And this week, all these interviews were about a year ago, within just a couple of months of being a year ago. So here we go. We're going to start here. Let me get this bigger. And here we go. This is about where Seth comes on. And the Pascal Show link is in the description of this video. If you would at any time like to go over, make sure to sub up. He does some really great work. And here we go. Yeah, I stand with Seth too, but we need to be fair. You know, I'm trying to be fair. So here we go, guys.
I got a lot of questions and I want to know what's going on. So I am very humbled to bring our friend. He's called on to the show before. I've been talking to him for a while now. I'm honored to even call him my friend. Please welcome Seth Rogers to the show. Seth, how you doing, my brother?
I'm alive. Boots on the ground still.
No doubt. No doubt. First off, I want to do this for you really quick. You doing that thing out there, bro. You doing that thing. I just want you to know that. So I appreciate you, and I appreciate all that you have been doing, because somebody's got to do it. And I don't really see anybody else spearheading this situation. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I am my son's voice.
No doubt.
Okay. What a way to start. What a way to start. I am my son's voice. At what time have we heard his mother say anything close to that? Never. But his father starts this conversation with, I am my son's voice. No red flag there.
No doubt. How has things been recently?
It's been like a John Grisham novel, to be honest.
Hmm.
Thank you. Yes, I'm live. I'm not putting
Hi.
you on the camera. Nobody wants to see you in your pajamas. Women.
I'm sure there's some people that do. But when you say
Hey,
John
some
Grisham,
people want to see you in your pajamas.
hold on, time out. You're being silly now. But when you say it's like a John Grisham novel, what do you mean by that exactly?
Just the amount of weird shit. I mean, can I cuss on here?
Yeah, you good, bro. It's a late night show. It's a Friday. We good.
All right. It's just some weird stuff has been going on as of late that it's just weird. My volunteers have been having people follow them while they handed out flyers and stuff like that. So,
So people are getting followed, you said?
yep.
Do you mind expanding on that a little bit?
I just tell my volunteers that get together to help pass out flyers for Sebastian. They noticed that vehicles be following them, and I told them if they see anybody following them, get their license plate number, and I pass it off to TBI.
That's what's up. Wow. So people are getting followed, allegedly. People are getting followed who are just passing out flyers, volunteers that are just contributing in trying to find your son. That's very odd. Have you?
Never have I ever heard of anyone that's out searching for a child, passing out flyers for a child at any time, being just followed around, intimidated. It's crazy. But it happened, folks. For real, it has happened. Me and you, she says, Lolly, I heard a rumor that Tony left Seth, not sure. I've heard that he is working, and with his new job, he does not have access to be off as much. Where before he had a lot of leeway. He'd been with that company for a while. But when your company is receiving phone calls and people telling them bad things about you, you know, it does interfere with your real life and your real life job. And that's what those people have done. And he had to look for different employment. Very, very little from what I'm hearing, Robin. I mean, you go put up flyers, you're going to be followed, basically. They don't want this child found. But I don't think, I do believe him and Tony are still in touch. I don't want to speak on it as if I know 100%, but from what I've heard, they still are in contact. But yeah, he does, Magic Star. He has his own responsibilities. And when the other side starts doing the stupid things that they love to do, then, you know, lives get affected. Sebastian's case gets hurt.
You seen anything like that yourself? Have you been followed?
Can't intimidate me. I have a goal in mind.
Gotcha. Have you already reported that? Because that basically says yes to me. So have you reported that at all to TBI or any law enforcement at all that you have been followed?
Yeah.
Has it changed as of late, or are you still getting followed?
I haven't been followed today.
When
But
you go ahead.
today, if they wanted to know where I've been, I mean, they can ask me. Whoever wants to follow me, I was at church 3 times today. It's Good Friday. Time to go to mass.
Right on. When did you
Did
report
you go
that?
to mass?
Go ahead. What were you saying?
Did you go to mass?
Not yet. I'm a bad boy. I'm burning in the fiery pits of hell. I know. I know.
I'll get down and help make sure that you don't stay there long.
I appreciate that, my brother. I appreciate that. But when did you go ahead? Say that again.
It's always time to change.
Right. Always time. But when did you report to TBI that you were actually getting followed? Was that yesterday or was that a few days ago?
I've reported some license plate numbers to TBI. I let them know a couple weeks ago that some of my volunteers were being followed.
Mm. That's just crazy to me. Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty weird.
That's very, very weird.
Very, very weird. I don't know, Tina girl. I don't get it. The common denominator seems to be the mother and the stepfather. That's all I can come to the conclusion. I can't say, really, because I don't know. I don't understand it. I mean, this dad is getting search crews. This is at the very beginning, and he was out boots on the ground as much as he possibly could be, had a group of people helping him, coming every day, spending their time they chose to go out and help, doing it to help for Sebastian. And yet they get followed. Nobody wants to be followed. Somebody follows me, he's going to follow me all the way to the police station.
We might circle back to that question here in a second, or at least that topic here in a second. But I do have some questions. I know that there has been some updates. You and Katie Proudfoot, at least Katie Proudfoot, were in the same room with TBI, and they gave you some updates. Can you tell me anything that came of that conversation with TBI?
The video with the two flashlights on there, they showed me the whole video. And then they showed me the video in the daylight too. And it wasn't flashlights. It was literally the video that was showed to the public was like a small little portion of the screen, not the whole actual screen. And it was a trash truck. It came through. It's why it was slow at the beginning, because it was picking up trash. And then after they picked up trash, when it came back, they were dipping out in the neighborhood.
Interesting. Because
now, red flags all over the place for that one. Yeah, TJ. Wowza. What they showed Seth, I have no clue. I do question whether they showed him a recording of the trash truck as it started coming through the neighborhood, and then later in the daytime along the same route. I don't know. I don't understand it. Trash truck lights do not separate and go running to the back of someone's house. But I do believe whatever they showed him was probably not the whole correct thing, but they did try to convince him it was a trash truck. I know, TJ, I'm with you on that one. I'd like to know what Seth thinks about the flashlight video now. So, hey, Geneva, welcome. Thank you for being here.
Okay, so we've seen that video. We've all seen at least what Nick Barris put out here. Now, and you're trying to explain it a little bit. I hope you can explain a little bit more. When you went and saw it with TBI, the nighttime stuff, the flashlight, the stuff that looked like fireflies, for crying out loud, in the black abyss, was that the full picture, or was that a cropped video?
That was like a 3x5 of a full TV screen.
Really?
Yes.
So okay, so it was a cropped segment or a cropped section of a very big picture.
I mean, I've
So
seen some people actually sit there and talk about, well, the trash don't run at 3:15 in the morning. You're right. It runs between 5 and 5:30 in the morning.
right.
But the whole time that I watched this, the time on the DVR that they had stayed 3:11 for like 15 minutes.
Okay. So
So
it's
broke equipment.
so it was broken. Okay.
Okay, 5 o'clock in the morning, 5:30 in the morning. You're getting close to daybreak. It's not going to be pitch black outside at that time of day. Yes, Tina girl, they have lied to him since the beginning. Yes. Hey, Town Chat. Love you. Thanks for being here.
So it stayed at 3:11 for the whole time. So 3 o'clock was not the time that these trash guys came in. These garbage men came in and picked up the trash. That was a little bit later on, a little bit earlier in the morning, if that makes any sense. More like 5 or so, right?
Correct.
And of course, again, this was a cropped video from a very, very big video.
Yeah, Blueberry, I believe that. Blueberry says in February would still be dark here at 5 or 5:30. Yeah, totally. But not pitch black, I don't think. As dark as it was, I just don't know. All right, bye, Mama. Well, welcome, Geneva. We're glad to have you.
Yes.
Okay.
I honestly think somebody did it for clickbait. I mean,
I see.
Now, we have seen the video extended, and we do see where the camera is mounted. We see the vehicles parked in the driveway in front of the camera. We see the courtyard space behind the 2 rows of houses. That is the area being filmed. That trash truck going by would have probably been blocked out by some of those vehicles that are parked in that driveway because there were several. This is the Pascals Show. This was done, Geneva, about a year ago.
Okay. So then,
he
okay.
wanted people to log in to follow. And
Right.
if he's watching this now, he knows why I'm not answering his phone calls.
Oh, I see. No, I get that. But okay, then tell me this.
Need is false information and something that's going on trying to find my son.
I can understand getting upset about that for sure. I definitely can. But there is actual movement in that area. If he didn't know, I could see that. But I could see a little mistake happening there. But as far as the rest of the image, right? Because it was only cropped with a bunch of, with those 2 white dots floating around for 2 seconds, right? What does the rest of the picture that you saw look like? Is it just pitch black, or was there movement elsewhere?
It's dark because it's at night, but you can make out the road.
And
So it's like whoever shared it with Nick and Nick put it out, you could see the whole road. There was nothing there. There was no cars on that road.
You can see the whole road. Folks, I don't know about y'all, but in the 3 a.m. light video that we've all seen with our very own eyes, you can't make out that road. It's dark. Hey, Narita. Saved by Grace, if you need to get rest, you go get rest. We love you. Oh, Geneva, we try to stay away from drama over here. We really do. We don't like the drama and the hate and all this stuff. But as far as this live video goes and what they showed Seth, I honestly believe it was probably the portion of the light of the trash truck going by. I believe now that he does realize there's something nefarious happening there, and it was not a trash truck. But I can't say that for a fact. Hey, Michelle. Hey, Kylie. Good to have y'all. We're listening to Seth. He was on the Pascals Show about a year ago, and we're looking for any red flags that, may have come up. He's currently talking about the flashlight video and the video they showed him, and he said it's clearly a trash truck because you could see the road and you see the truck. But in the live video we have, you can't hardly see the road at all.
There was no movement on the road except for the trash truck. That was it.
Gotcha. Okay. But you also saw footage from during the day as well, right? You just said that it was nighttime and day.
Yeah, because what they wanted to do is they showed me the footage for the night, and then they turned around and they took from the same camera video footage from the day and showed me where the markings and everything were, so that I had no doubt in my mind.
Okay, so that tells me right there, red flag, red flag, red flag, not on Seth, but towards law enforcement. Towards law enforcement. Law enforcement is in every which way possible. Yeah, YouTuber. The trash truck company confirmed no trash truck was there at 3 a.m. But they were trying to convince him this was at 5:30 in the morning. And yet they showed and compared and told Seth, this is where the trash truck's driving by. Folks, we've seen a trash truck driving through at nighttime. They are all kinds of lit up. Lights everywhere. You hear the beeping and the truck noise and the containers being emptied. And at no time was any of that happening right there. That trash truck would have stopped at the house with the video on it, and we would have seen it plain as day. But all this was happening. There was no vehicles moving until the one vehicle front light and back light comes on. But it does tell you from the very, very beginning, they were convincing Seth it was just a trash truck. And that, folks, to me is a red flag on law enforcement all day, every day, because they are covering up something. They're covering up something. Who was involved in that 3 a.m. video that they need to cover up for? Yeah, Lisa, a trash truck would light up like a Christmas tree, wouldn't it? I wonder if anybody from the law enforcement was there helping that night. Or if it's just their buddies and their pals they're trying to cover up for. They're money makers.
Gotcha.
Because some of those lights actually stay stationary.
Mm-hmm.
They're on throughout the night and throughout the day. And they literally showed me where it was. And I've been in that neighborhood. I even knew what house it was. As soon as I saw it, I recognized the house. So I knew the angle. Because the angle's coming from at the end of the street. It's not pointing at like a common section. It's just literally at the end of the street so that the owner can watch all their vehicles.
Gotcha. Wow. Okay. And for everyone who's watching the show, just tuning in just right now, this is the biological father of Sebastian Rogers. Just so you guys know, he is boots on the ground in Hendersonville, doing everything he can to find his son. He has been missing for the past month now. It's, I'm sure, extremely daunting. As you can tell, Seth, I mean, I can't wait for you to have an actual good night's rest. I know that.
Barb, we've all wondered that same thing. She said, I'm wondering why CP was not arrested since he admitted he belted Sebastian previously, in his own words. Yeah, you would think so. But for some reason, he seems to be protected. I don't know. Hey, Gypsy girl.
It won't happen until you find Sebastian, but still, I know that you're doing a lot of work to try to bring your son home.
I feel better today. I've been to church 3 times. I've done mass. I'll be at church again tomorrow for Holy Saturday, and then it's Easter Sunday. And I'm just praying for a miracle. So
Same here. Same
well,
here.
you go to mass for that then, buddy.
I will be. I will be for sure. I will be for sure.
TC says nepotism and cover up probably for favors. Exactly. That's what I believe.
But one thing I do want to point out really quick to everybody, real quick right now, is that there is a GoFundMe right now. This is to help Seth stay boots on the ground out in that area. Okay, before we continue on in our conversation, please, guys.
Okay, this has become a topic of adversity. A lot of people think this is making money off of his son. I see nothing wrong with it. People put up GoFundMes all the time for all kinds of different things. His sister put this one up to help him pay bills, to help him get flyers, to help him get yard signs, to help him with gas, all the things that needs to be done. And I'm sorry, but this is, to me, is not a red flag. Just because Chris didn't like it doesn't make it a red flag. Okay? Chris does not own Seth. He doesn't tell Seth how to live his life, how to do things. This was done by Seth's sister to help her brother so that he can be out there and take care of finding his son. So, to me, the GoFundMe, it just doesn't bring up a red flag to me. It may to you guys. But, yeah. See, in the beginning, yes, you're right, TJ. In the beginning, CP said all 3 parents sat down and decided and discussed they were not going to do a GoFundMe. Well, Seth didn't, but his sister did. His sister did it. And it pissed off Mr. Chris. And sorry, that doesn't make it a red flag in my book. I mean, come on. The tanks of gas he's using to drive back and forth. The money he has spent having t-shirts made and bracelets made. Oh, he was overly upset. A little too much upset that it became, yeah, bitter. Yes. Yes. Seth's army was growing and supporting Seth. Right. He is, isn't he, Barb? He's always kind of pissy. It doesn't take a lot to get him all riled up. But I'm just being honest from my heart. I don't see a red flag with the GoFundMe, even if all 3 parents said, okay, we're not going to do that. It happened. So what? You got your mommy's pocketbook. Seth doesn't.
Guys, I'm going to make sure that it is posted in the posted at the top of the chat, in the family chat, so that you guys can go. Please, their goal is to just hit $18,000. They're almost there. Okay, $1, it doesn't matter. A penny, it doesn't matter. Whatever you can contribute is still a step in the right direction. So please go over to his GoFundMe, show some love, show some support. There's some other things that I will be sharing with you guys as well. If you want to contribute in other ways, we will be talking about that a little bit later on in the conversation. Okay, but go to that GoFundMe if it moves you so. All right, this man is boots on the ground as we speak. So go over there and help if you can. Okay, and we will be talking about volunteers here.
Amen,
in
Barb.
just a little bit as
Amen.
well. Okay, just to give you guys all a heads up if you want to get out there and help search for Sebastian. Now, you went there, you checked out this video, the full scope of this video. What we saw as regular people, okay, the people that are very passionate and really caring and that care about finding Sebastian, the footage that we saw was a cropped video up in the top right-hand corner of this very big, a much bigger picture.
Yes,
So
sir.
you saw day and night. What else was being said or talked about or shown to you with TBI?
I had requested video proof that my son was alive after I spoke to him on Thursday.
What footage was that?
They showed me footage of him leaving Texas Roadhouse and getting into his mama's vehicle with her.
Texas Roadhouse. So he was getting in a vehicle with Katie Proudfoot from eating at Texas Roadhouse, correct?
Yes.
Now, Saved by Grace puts on here, my opinion, he's jealous of Seth. Oh, I hate when it jumps. Let me go back and find it. He's jealous of Seth. That may be one reason Sebastian went missing on the anniversary of their wedding day, allegedly. He's jealous of Sebastian because he looks and acts like Seth. You know, I didn't quite realize to what degree until we had our friend Carl come on and call in, and he said to him, that is a big, huge red flag. That was a way of getting back at Katie on Seth's part. The day play has a significant value, he believes, but he looks at it just the opposite. Hey, Miss Kim, welcome. He looks at it like Seth took Sebastian and did it on that day just to be devious with the date. However, I disagree. I think it was more of a date of convenience, and it just worked out to be that day. Yeah, the divorce, it was the divorce date, yeah. So it's crazy. It's crazy how different the opinions are when it comes to the date. Oh, Geneva. Yeah. It's a sad one, that's for sure. You know, honestly, didn't think it could get much worse than the Summer Wells missing case, and yet it has. It's just horrible.
Chris Proudfoot there in the footage?
No. Chris was in Memphis.
Okay, so Chris was definitely in Memphis. Okay. But when you saw them leaving, were they with anybody? Were they alone? Just the two of them going into this car?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, remember, guys, this is very early on. None of us had seen the footage of the Texas Roadhouse. The law enforcement had this video. They showed him leaving Texas Roadhouse. They showed there was Katie and Sebastian getting in the car. Seth watched it. Put yourself in his shoes. You want confirmation that your son was okay that day. You're studying your child. You're not looking at everything around you. You're not looking for other people at that point. Your son is just missing. You don't know what's happened. You're not far in, and you get to see a picture of him from that last sighting of him. Seth was not looking for things that were nefarious. Seth concentrated, I'm going to almost guarantee you, on every ounce of his being was concentrated completely 100% on Sebastian. I don't think he saw the whole 45 minutes that they were there. I think he only saw that last part. That's all he had seen. Yes, TJ's right. At this time, he was trusting, everybody. There were starting to be red flags popping up here and there. He's starting to question a few things at this time. But all he wanted to do was watch his child, his mannerisms, look and see, was he distressed? Was he acting out or whatever? At that time, the Texas Roadhouse video was not as important as we've come to realize it is. And Seth only saw him walking out and leaving, getting in the car. He was watching his son, $10. He was not looking at Green Hoodie and who that could be. So, oh, Miss Rhonda, you go do what you need to do, girl. You do what you need to do. If you need to go, you go. Okay? Yeah, Seth said he didn't look happy. Yeah. Oh, I know it does, Miss Rhonda. It breaks my heart all the time. Let's listen some more.
Okay. Quick question. Did you see any footage from inside Texas Roadhouse? No.
Okay. They just, I wanted proof of life on Sunday to make myself feel better. You guys want to know why I was smiling? That's because yesterday I got to see my son. I mean, it's not current, it's not up to date, but it gives me a little bit better of a feeling that I got to see him.
Now, so far, we've not had any red flags on things that he said about his son. And so gave him hope just seeing that video. That video, if y'all recall, when he had the biggest smile on his face, he was renewed with hope.
No doubt. No doubt. And I can only imagine. So when you saw him walking out of Texas Roadhouse with Katie Proudfoot, his biological mother, was he wearing the same clothes that they're describing that he was last seen in? Okay. Okay. After seeing that footage, I know it made you happy to see him. Of course, you miss your son. I don't know. Was there any interaction, any exchange with Katie, between you and Katie, after seeing this footage?
No.
When was the last time you spoke with Katie before TBI? Before the TBI meeting?
It's been a couple weeks.
It's been a couple weeks. Wow. Have you seen them, Chris and Katie Proudfoot, boots on the ground, searching along with you at
I
all?
haven't.
Even at the beginning when you came into town, when you first came into town?
Chris went with me for one night to go check out some leads that were coming off of Facebook, but they were 3 days old, I think. And after that, no. They
Okay.
say that they're doing it. They say they're out there handing out flyers, putting out signs, getting billboards up, things of that sort. But
Hey, Pink
they're
Warrior.
not where I'm at.
Now, he's just told us that it had been a couple weeks since he had talked to Katie. Later, as time goes on, no interaction. The interactions become less and less and more more combative type of interactions going on between him and the mother and stepfather. But Seth does tell us later, which is a huge, huge red flag, not towards Seth, but towards Katie. He walked in the door of the Prophet's home after getting the call. She puts the phone up to his face and says, "See, he was happy." After that, she doesn't talk to him. To this day, 18 months later, she's still not talking to Seth. I know, right, TJ? I mean, he's not done or said anything to throw up red flags. But yet we had Katie and Chris's very first interview, and within the first 3 minutes, there was the biggest red flag of all. The timeline got changed instantly. It's a little obvious. And it's very confusing to me why people want to talk about Seth the way we heard yesterday.
Gotcha.
Which, I mean, it kind of, if you got more than one person doing it, it would be, in the grand scheme of things, it would make sense to split up to conquer the area.
Right. It would, wouldn't it?
It would.
So let me ask you. Let's talk about the search that you had with Chris. What was that like? How was the interaction? How was the search with him? Was it
Listen close.
awkward?
No, it wasn't. It was not awkward. I was the passenger side. I was the passenger in the truck, and he was driving around. He's familiar with the area a lot more than I am. So he knew from the Facebook tip where to go. And so I just jumped in the truck with him.
Okay. Gotcha. And then that's it. You guys did a search and no strange, no odd interaction. He didn't say anything that would have made, I don't know, spark any kind of red flags or anything of that sort.
No.
Okay. I see. So my question is too.
Now, this is the very beginning. Seth was trying to keep the peace as much as possible. He does later tell us in that ride around, Mr. Chris asking, "What are you going to do if this thing goes south?" And Seth said, "Well, I'll go south." And he says, "What if he's no longer alive?" I mean, this was what, day 1, day 2? And yet that's already the conversation. And then he tells him maybe if you go to church, you might find him. I do too. I worry about that little girl. It's going to be, yeah, it's very sad to think about for her.
Just going back to the TBI meeting, the most recent one you had. Aside from those videos, was there any new leads or anything that they told you?
They're not going to tell me. It's an active investigation. They're not going to tell me.
Are you satisfied with their investigation thus far?
Asking me that question is like asking me if I like the hamburger that I see you cooking. I haven't seen the finished result yet. Finished result is me getting my son back. The sooner we do that, the sooner I'll tell you how happy I am.
Gotcha. I see.
If that makes sense.
No, that makes total sense. That does.
You know, here's a father who understands the process of law enforcement. They're not going to tell him everything, and he's okay with that as long as he gets his son back. That's all he cares about. And yet now he's begging them to help him, and they're still not telling him anything. Doesn't seem like a very active case to us. Hadn't had an update in over a year. Uncalled for.
I like food.
So do I. So do I. I'm a hell of a cook. We gotta sit down and throw down sometime, my brother. When we finally get to meet.
What's your favorite cuisine?
Well, I'm okay. I make a mean steak. My steak is fire. Okay, bar none.
Now, what do you mean by a mean steak? Do you slice it open in the middle and shove it full of jalapenos and cheese?
No, I don't do any of that crazy stuff. No, just
You
cook
throw it on a slab and sear it on both sides and serve it bloody.
Serve it right all day long. Serve it right. Okay. All right. And a mean fennel puree with some asparagus. Now you're getting me hungry, man. Now you're getting me hungry, bro.
You should have gone to church.
Oh, well, I will be in the church soon. Trust and believe. Trust and believe. So when it comes back to the conversation, because now we start talking about food, I'm going to get hungry. But after your conversation, have you seen
TC? This was right at the first, when he had first seen Sebastian, the video of him walking out. He was happy. He had hope behind him. He had lots of stuff, encouragement. Had lots of people working and helping with him. Now, after all this time has gone by, I know he holds on to hope, but at the same time, I know he has to, somewhere in the far back of his mind, have realization as to what could possibly be. And that's hard to smile at that point. But yes, it is good to see him smiling. He deserves more of that. Hi, Island. Hi.
Chris? When you saw Katie Proudfoot, did you see Chris?
No.
Okay, so he wasn't there at all.
He wasn't there physically. No.
Gotcha. Okay. Are you looking into any private investigators or lawyers at all?
Investigators? I've got 4 of them.
Oh, you got 4. Right on.
I'm not playing.
Gotcha. I see.
Unfortunately, Seth wasn't playing, but his investigators were. We now know another red flag, not towards Seth, but that the investigators were actually interlinked with the investigator that was hired by the Proudfoots, in my opinion, to cause nothing but wreak havoc. And those 4 investigators are no longer with Seth.
That's where I get a lot of my leads from.
Gotcha. Seeing any footage or anything of that sort, has that moved you to make any movements as of late? None?
Nope, I've gotten some tips. United Cajun Navy was here. They left. They were getting the death threat.
Yeah.
Okay, y'all heard it. United Cajun Navy was there. They were doing their thing. They left. They got death threats. We've heard them speak before. We've heard the conversation where they themselves have said, we started receiving death threats. A volunteer agency that has a tremendous reviews on the things that they have done to help. And yet they started getting death threats. When does that ever happen in a missing child's case? When? Make it make sense. Why? Because none of that makes any sense to me at all. Yes. Yeah. Then the other side spin it off as they were fraudsters. They were here doing nothing, just blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But, when you and your family are being threatened, your lives are being threatened, you're going to back away. You have to do what you have to do. Hey, Scranton, how you doing? Jennifer on top. I know, right on top. Never heard of it happening anywhere else. So let's listen to some more.
I do want to talk to you about that as well. So I want to bring that up real quick because I'm a little confused, to be honest. But they are.
Yes, Valley Gal. Don't forget, KP said she requested them. However, they came out on the news and debunked that. Isn't that something? Make it make sense, folks. Make it make sense.
I'm just pulling this up really, really quick. Cajun Navy is calling off searching for Sebastian. What's up with that, Seth? Why is that happening? Why did that happen? What's up with that?
I mean, they're helping search to find my son, and people are threatening them, trying to run them over with a truck, throwing stuff at them. I mean, these people are trying to help me find my son. And this is the kind of welcome they got to Tennessee. The state of volunteers. And these people came to volunteer to help. Not everybody's perfect. That's why I told everybody you need to drop your egos and understand that Sebastian is the focus of this. The end goal is to find Sebastian alive and well.
Mm-hmm.
And some people decide to let their egos get in the way.
Gotcha. And so because of that, and of course they were getting threats, allegedly, that's why they're gone. Are they coming back at all? Did they just take a day off? What's the story here?
They called me this morning and they said that because of the death threats that they have to pull back because not only are they getting threats, but their family members are getting threats.
Oh, come on, man.
I cannot be liable for somebody. I'm trying to find my son.
No doubt.
And the last thing I want is somebody, I cannot on my conscience have somebody having their family getting threatened because they're trying to help me find my son.
Red flags all day long with that statement. And once again, not towards Seth. When you have a mother and a stepfather who can't even start their first interview out without having to correct things in their timeline, you have the mother who's given pictures of her son and putting them on their yard signs of when he was 5, 6, 7 years younger. Things start to add up really quick. And in that process becomes a process of elimination, and the ones causing the most distraction in Sebastian's case seems to be the ones not really wanting him found. They're not searching. They're not out putting flyers. Retha, hello, my friend. I hope everything's good with you. Hope you're having a good day. But they're not trying. They're doing everything they can to incite hate towards people trying to do good and find Sebastian. It's just absolutely horrible.
I mean, I've already told my volunteers, be careful, stay in groups. At 5 o'clock, I know we still got a couple hours of daylight left, but I want my volunteers to be safe too. So I've told them at 5 o'clock, I need you all to go ahead and call it quits for the night. You may not want to, but your life is precious as well. My son's life is precious, but I'm not willing to risk other people's lives for my son's life.
Gotcha. I
Mine,
agree.
man, I ain't worried.
Now, we've heard Katie talk several times before. We just went through a few interviews on our last lives that we've been doing, listening to her. Compare what she has said towards finding her son to what this man here is saying. It's night and day, folks. Night and day. You have a mother who has to be asked the questions. You have a father who's out here just spilling out his heart and telling everything how it is. You have a mother who's trying to remember the timeline correctly, and she don't want to speak about anything off topic of the timeline because she might get herself in trouble. Therefore, she went ahead and incited the Fifth Amendment right that she is owed for reasons that she might incriminate herself. The red flags are not even comparable. Not comparable at all. It's absolutely insane to me how there's a whole side of people hating on him. Island High, you are correct. There are some choices that he has made that didn't match his words. I agree. But when you come to the whole overall picture, it's still night and day when you stack it all up. It's just very questionable.
Repeat that again. I'm sorry. Say that last thing.
Said mine, on the other hand, I'm not worried. I'll be your Huckleberry.
I heard that. And yeah, I it is frustrating and tragic that they that's frustrating and tragic that they left. I got to be honest. And as a father as well, I can only imagine how that feels. But as far as volunteers go, Has that changed in the volume and the reception and the attendance of volunteers down there?
A little bit. I mean, people are conscious of their own well-being. I can't expect people to, be threatened or anything else to help me find my son.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry that's happening to you, brother. But I want to bring this up really quick. Go ahead.
This is what it tells me.
Shoot.
People don't want me to find my son. Well, they can rot in hell, and people in hell also want ice water. And I have iced tea.
I got you. But for those of y'all who want to stay in heaven and want to help volunteer, can you let them know where they can go and volunteer? They need as many boots on the ground, okay, out there, guys. So can you tell them where they can go and when you guys are starting your search tomorrow morning and all that?
Right now, you just need to kind of pay attention to the Facebook pages. I will be at church tomorrow. I mean, I'm taking this weekend to get my leads in place so that I have viable leads on where I can send people. There's a couple groups that are out there that feel the same way that I do.
Island High, yes. We talked about that the other day on here about the group home situation. And Katie and Chris could not wait for Seth to get the schooling and get him enrolled properly. They wanted him to be placed in a behavior type home. And the one they chose, Seth had looked into it. There had been 6 kids recently had passed in that home. So he didn't want that. He reached out to an expert in the field, and she found other options that were highly credible and passed those on to Katie and Chris to look into. Let's look into these. And then before you know it, Sebastian's gone. And Seth has been burned so many times that he has pushed a lot of people away. A lot of people that could probably help him a lot. But I agree with you on that part there. And I try to understand his side as far as even the girlfriend he had during this time. She was only pretending to be his girlfriend to get information to give to her true crime YouTuber creator boyfriend. He hired private investigators that came to him and talked to him, and he liked them. He liked what they had to say. He hired them to help him, and they turned out to be connected to SF Investigates, the one that the Proudfoots had hired. Seth has gotten burned a lot. A lot. People have gotten his information and put it out. I've even seen copies of his driver's license and his social security card on here. It's really sad. And yeah, I do think that Seth has pushed away a lot of people that could really, really, really help. No. The 3 discussing the behavior facility was prior to Sebastian going missing. It wasn't very long before. Because he thought it might have been for like a summer program, but they were saying no, they didn't have time to wait for Seth to take him. He was getting out of control, according to Katie and Chris. Or let me correct myself, according to what Seth told us. And then, yes, right. It wasn't long after the searches for the school place. It was just like less than a month, I believe he said, when he went missing. So good night, West End. Have a good evening.
About my son, you can't scare them. They're meeting. They've got things on Facebook.
Gotcha.
So where they're showing up, they showed up today. I think it was like 35 or 40 of them. And they went and handed out flyers and searched a couple areas. I know all that sort of stuff. At the same point in time, during this interview, I've already ignored 8 telephone calls from people who are calling in
No,
to find out what the game plan is and to tell me information.
Well, I won't keep you on very long. I know that you got a lot going on. I got a few more questions for you, but I do want to bring up all these things so that people know where to go. So is it still 90 Volunteer Drive, Hendersonville?
They are not there anymore.
Okay. So where do they go now?
We do not have a location currently for everybody to meet up. When I choose a location, it will go out the night before. That way I can get there and scope the area, make sure that it's a safe gathering spot for people.
Okay. So how are you going to let us know, or will you let me know at least so we can put it up online, let people know? Go ahead.
Let you know. I have your number. I have a couple other YouTubers' number, and I've got people with Facebook.
Right. And I also, just to clarify, guys, the threats that the Cajun Navy were receiving were not from content creators. It was actually just people living in the area or outside the area that just wanted to muck things up. Okay. So it's not any content creator that threw out any threats, just to correct the conversation in the family chat, just so you know. Okay. Now, go ahead.
Me personally, I've been balancing media and content creators for over 30 days now since I started this. And I love y'all. I mean, I understand some of y'all want clicks and y'all want followers and things like that. And that does not bother me. Everybody's got to have a job so they can make money. At the same point in time, I know that the more clicks and people that you have following you, the more people will hear me. That means more people.
Now, did you let's the more people you have following you and hearing you, the more people will hear me. And that means more
people out there. I told you, I want the world to help me find my son.
People will hear about his son. That's all he cares about. Have the big channels, have all the numbers, have all the clicks and the views and all the things, but talk about his son. That's what he wants. That's all he cares about. Get his name out there more and more. And the more you do it, the more it's going to be active. Sad that those who have those large channels with those big followings find it more important to talk about a content creator than they do Sebastian. It's really sad.
No doubt. That's absolutely right. The more engagement, the more likes, etc., the more this story and this conversation gets out there and more awareness goes out there for Sebastian. And that's what we're here for. Real talk. That's what we're here for. So let's get back into it. Footsteps or footprints, that were found near this water retention pond. Can we talk a little bit about that? Go ahead. I'm sorry. What were you saying?
I said they searched that pond. They searched that pond either day 1 or day 2. It's only like 4 feet deep, and there went the light. And they
We can still
searched
see
it.
you.
I asked them about it because I listened to the phone call from the dispatcher to the officers, and I brought that to their attention, and they said that they searched that pond.
Okay. And they found, obviously, or I'm assuming they found nothing, because if they did find something, we'd all know about it by now, correct?
Yes, that was 30 days ago.
Gotcha. I'm going to go back into the conversation about things around the house and whatnot. Now, the cars, okay? There's something that's just really been burning away at me, and I'm just curious about, have they looked at I understand that they've gone through Katie's car. They've combed through that like crazy, but have they looked at the navigation of her
They want
car?
information.
They won't divulge that information. Is that what you just said?
Yeah, I'm not part of the investigation. Questions like that would be things that would be part of the investigation. And yeah, they're not going to tell me that stuff. So I don't
Gotcha.
even bother asking about it.
Gotcha.
Because, yeah.
I see. Okay. Now, I know that you, a long time ago, because I know you just did a recent interview, and this is the one thing that I got a little confused about, and I understand you know, could be lack of sleep, could be just answering the same doggone questions 15,000 times over, and it just, but I remember in the interview that you had in the past, you said something about the dogs catching a scent going into a construction site and it just stopping in that construction site. But just recently, I think just yesterday or the day before, you did an interview with local news, and you said that the dogs did not catch any scent.
That's what they're telling me now.
So the scent that the dogs picked up near this construction site was not that of Sebastian Rogers?
That's what they told me.
They
said
very
the
interesting.
information that I received when I asked questions previously was false information.
Once again, red flag goes towards law enforcement. You're telling a father at the beginning this dog picked up Sebastian's scent and went into the retention pond. And then now you're saying, oh, that was false information. It was not Sebastian's scent. I think law enforcement was the ones that was saying that. And then the dog handlers say, no, this dog picked up a different scent. How do they know? I don't know. I'm not a dog expert. But why is it now that was not Sebastian's scent? Why are you going to say at the beginning there was a scent picked up? It doesn't make sense to me.
Interesting. It's very interesting. I guess I keep wondering about those things because I know it was said before, and then things have changed. Like things that we've heard from the Proudfoots, they have changed over time. Now, I get it that during trauma, during nerves, being interrogated, sometimes information slips through the cracks, right? Sometimes you forget things, so on and so forth.
Barb, I don't believe there was any video of a car driving around jamming Ring cameras, but I know there have been talk about jammers possibly used that night because a few that were not hardwired in to their internet system were fried, and that's generally what can happen when you have a jammer being used, but nothing's ever been confirmed 100%.
But there's been things that have been added in later on in their conversations and in their interviews. Like, you saw the Nancy Grace interview, did you not?
No, I kind of stopped watching the interviews after a particular one where I found out a lot of stuff, about CPS and stuff. I kind
Yes.
of, I guess I probably should turn around and watch more of them, but that kind of hurt me. So
So you found out about CPS from watching the conversation that they had with another podcaster. That's the first and only time you heard about Chris putting his hands on your son, Sebastian, that would garner him a visit by CPS. Am I correct?
yes,
So you never heard anything from any officials of any sort about this, even Katie Proudfoot as well. You never heard anything from her too.
no,
Red flag once again for me. However, still not on Seth. He doesn't live in that home. He would not know unless someone contacted him. And this red flag goes to CPS. I don't know the school's policy if they could reach out to his real father or not. But I know that CPS would have access to find out who has full custody, who has joint custody, who's involved and who's not. And not just go off of the word of the mother when the mother told them actually that his real father was not in his life. If they would have asked Sebastian, I'm pretty sure he would have said, I see my dad all the time. I agree, Island High. I agree with that 100%. CP and Craddock are acquaintances, and that's conflict of interest. Yes. Along with one of the TBI officers as well. So, conflict of interest in many, many ways. Craddock's mother and Chris's mother are best friends. Lots of conflicts of interest.
All right, I'm going to ask you a hard question. Has Sebastian ever spoken to you about the dynamics inside the Proudfoot's home?
nope. I really wish he had, because here in Tennessee, everybody's a mandated reporter. And if I had known some of this stuff that was going on, it would have been a phone call. I'd have called Clarksville PD, Montgomery County Sheriff's.
I bet. I would too.
My son would probably still be here right now.
So, question.
It's very sad to hear. There were 5 cases of CPS reported from the month of December of 2023 to the end of January. No, I'm sorry, from November to the end of February, end of January, 1st of February, in that time frame. 5. That's 4 months, folks. 5 CPS cases. And yet his real father didn't know. Yeah. It's funny that Seth got a lawyer and his lawyer filed paperwork to get copies of the CPS cases on Tuesday, and that Friday, that CPS worker was let go. But don't forget, Kathy Bowersox had family member that was working at CPS at the time. And just days before Sebastian went missing, she moved and started her new job in Alaska. working for an oil rig. Quite a jump there.
Because he says he only used the belt once and CPS was called. Do you believe it only happened once?
Doesn't really matter what I believe. I know that he admitted that it happened.
Gotcha. It's interesting because we dissected it this morning, and
it was his mother, town chat. It was Eric Craddock's mother, and I say that because I read a Facebook post that his mother put out. Will you please pray for this young man? It is a step grandson of my best friend, Kathy Bowersox. He is missing, and some bad things are being said about this family. And she went on to not talk about Sebastian, but to talk about how wonderful of a family they are. And so that's how I know. Oh, and just a little tidbit. Katie and Sebastian went to Texas Roadhouse on Sunday, February 24th. The day before, there's a picture of Michelle's mom and dad at the Texas Roadhouse. What is it with Texas Roadhouse?
he said something completely different on Nancy Grace and said that wasn't the case. The inconsistencies are not good and very frustrating, just as a fellow parent here as well. And I keep wondering,
yes, Jennifer, yes,
if there was ever any conversation or any hint at Sebastian having any issues or any problems with Chris or anybody at that home. Please continue.
Well, there was a couple times my son would get frustrated on days that I was going that I was taking him back to his mom's.
Frustrated. Sebastian would get frustrated on days that was going back to his mom's house. Island High, as far as the belt incident, a lot of conversation was had on that timeline because it was Mr. Chris himself who said he was 15 when he got whipped with the belt. And then later on Nancy Grace, they said it was several years ago. And they were trying to push the time on when that actually happened back further, but it was within the 4 months prior to him going missing, actually.
And, you know, I don't want to go back. I hate going there. Well, he's a kid. I understand. I don't like to leave my house either. But when I asked him about it, he wouldn't tell me. And if he had, then I could have done something. But he didn't. So now I'm looking for it.
I see. So if I'm,
You know, it's a hard thing to think of, knowing that your child's missing and then hearing about the CPS cases of abuse that have been opened against your child that you knew nothing about. You know, Seth can't be a mind reader. He can't have x-ray vision and just look inside their home anytime and all times he wants to. And he only has to go by what Sebastian tells him, basically, because Katie and Chris aren't going to tell him. They're getting CPS called on them. So I can imagine what that felt like to Seth. Yes, Tina Girl in Smiley's interviews, it was Chris Proudfoot said Sebastian was an embarrassed 15-year-old. Yes. But this part here just breaks my heart because no parent wants to think that their child was okay and then all along find out that it wasn't so good after all. Just the one that was over his case, Barb. That's what Seth had told us.
Correct.
Hey,
You've
Rita.
asked him directly?
Yeah.
And he said nothing to you?
Said nothing to me.
Speaking of Sebastian not saying nothing to him when he asked him, y'all remember when Seth's mother put a Facebook post out how hard it is for her because Sebastian actually told her what was happening in that house, and he would not let her tell his dad because he was afraid for his dad losing his job and getting hurt. Why would a child be afraid of their father losing their job? Why would a child be afraid of their father getting hurt? In my opinion, I honestly believe there was a threat made that your dad is going to get upset. I'm going to have to hurt him and he will end up losing his job. I could almost hear it in my head. We've heard that anger that comes from Mr. Chris. We've heard how horrible and disgusting of a person he can be with no regards to anyone else's feelings. It's very sad, but I can totally hear it. I do, Tina Girl. I feel so bad for Seth's mother. Hey, Jen, I hope you're okay. Love you, girl.
I don't know if he was trying to protect me from what was going on there. I don't know what his reasoning was for it.
Yeah.
And I want him. My job is to protect him, and it kind of makes me feel like I failed because he wasn't able to tell me, so I can do something about it.
Seth, I'm sorry this is how you found out.
There is a post, and I actually have a copy of it, where Kathy Bowersox congratulates her on her new post in Alaska. I'll go back and find it if I can.
Real talk.
Me too.
I'm really sorry this is how you found out. It does break my heart that all this has gone down the way it's gone down. I really wish there was more clarity with these timelines.
Thank you, Tam. Love you.
The math is just
not mathing.
It's just not mathing. It's just not mathing to me. So I'll ask you, because you did ask Sebastian when it was time to go home or time to go back to the Proudfoot's home, he would get upset, right? He would get.
That was the second. That was not the last time that I took him, but the time before.
Did you?
And I asked him, did he?
No, we have no confirmation that she was the one that was working that case. We know she worked at the CPS office and that she started her new job just 2 days prior or 2 days after, I forget which one it was, of Sebastian going missing.
I don't get it. I don't understand why you didn't tell me.
Has he told anyone in your family? Has he told anyone else about this at all?
Don't know. I do not know.
I gotcha. Because
But I gotta find him so I can make up for it.
of course, of course.
I gotta
But
find him so I can tell him that he's got to talk to me. He's got to talk to me so I know what I can do.
I understand that. And I hope you do have that opportunity to have that conversation
I'm
with your son.
praying every day.
Me too. We are.
You need
All
to
the
go to church though.
I do.
Seth stayed on
I
him
do.
about church,
I
didn't
most
he?
definitely do.
At least
But
make sure you go on Sunday. I mean, it's Easter Sunday.
oh, yeah. Oh, of course. I'll be there
I
on
need
Sunday.
I
Whole
need an
family.
Easter miracle, okay?
Yes. I mean, everybody needs to go.
And
Okay. Whatever you pray to.
maybe it's just you need to go into church. It's just that one prayer that gets him back to me.
I'm with it. I have no problem doing that. And I'm sure everybody else in the family chat and of course, if you agree, if you're down with it, fam, put in that green heart emoji in the chat right now for Sebastian. Okay. Show as much love as you can. He needs it.
I agree. Everybody, please continue to pray for Sebastian. Wherever he may be, that God will lead someone, anyone, to his whereabouts. The prayers are so important. There is so much evil and hate trying to block our way, but I believe in our God, and he does tell us that we will overcome.
Because I understand that there could be a possibility of him running away because he's trying to get away, possibly, okay? Possibly get away from the household in which he is in. If he's not happy at the Proudfoot's home, there's a possibility of him trying to, you see what I'm saying, run away or get to you. Have you thought about that possibly?
I have.
Hi,
I've been
Shay.
to. Me and his godfather have been out to the homeless encampments trying to get a hold of people. Turned around and I contacted. I had somebody contact Montgomery County for me, and then I passed that information on to Sumner County to pull video cameras from the Parks and Recreation, so that hopefully we can pull. They can find some information along those lines. I've made. I mean, there's flyers everywhere in Clarksville, Oak Grove, Guthrie. Any place that I have driven through that would be close. So that way, and I've talked to the police departments up here. They know.
I see.
I'm going to make sure everybody knows my son.
Of course.
At what time in the last couple of days that we've been listening, how many times do we hear Katie say, I'm going to do everything I can so that everybody knows my son? Never heard her say that. Heard her say to keep passing out flyers. And then her and her husband and his family turned us down when we offered to set up a tiny little table to hold all the extra flyers that we wanted to pass out. Because it's an event that they all work getting it put together. And they didn't want their fun weekend messed up, I suppose. I'm not sure what else we're supposed to take from that. But now we have confirmed writing from the Parks and Rec director for the city of Hendersonville. We are not allowed to distribute any paper type materials in that event. So they need to figure out, do they want his flyers passed out or do they not want his flyers passed out? Seth is making sure places know who his son is. Katie and Chris are trying to have a good weekend and don't want it spoiled by Sebastian's face being everywhere. That's my opinion, guys. 100% my opinion.
I think a lot of people know your son, but yeah.
And when I have him back, we're gonna have to disappear for a while.
Oh yeah. I get it. I get it. I'm hoping for nothing but a positive outcome with everything here.
Just gotta find it.
Yeah.
Yes, Shay, it's very strange because we contacted the Parks and Rec department, asked them if we could just set up a little small table right by the entrance and hand out his flyer. We were willing to pay for a space to be there. And we were told that we would have to have the approval of the Proudfoots and the Bowersox family, and then Sheriff Craddock's approval as well. This man was going to lunch with the Proudfoots and the Bowersox, so he would ask while he was at lunch. And in the meantime, an email was sent to Eric Craddock, and he replied stating he had no authority over the event. But if we used a flyer, please use this flyer. And it was a flyer of a very, very, very young Sebastian, nothing that anyone would identify today. And then the email came from the Parks and Rec director that at this time there will be no materials of any kind passed out. That's a huge statement. That was huge, knowing that the city of Hendersonville had to have the approval of the Proud Sox and the Bowersox family first. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. And he throws in Sheriff Craddock in there. But yet Sheriff Craddock, I guess, hadn't had time to talk to him because he replied and said, I have no authority over that event. Turn the man into a liar. And in my opinion, that's all they're all doing over there. And it also shows you who has authority over the whole city there.
I know.
I need everybody heads up, eyes open.
Have you reached out to any other organizations, or have any other organizations like search and rescue type of organizations reached out to you at all? Because it's still kind of mind blowing that Cajun Navy is gone now, and it's kind of gone back down to you running it solo. Has anybody else, any other organizations reached out to you at all?
We've reached out. We're waiting on word back. We're not.
Island High. It is put on by the city of Hendersonville. That's who puts on this event and organizes it. And that's why I say it's pretty clear now who has a say-so in the city of Hendersonville, because it is their event. And yet the city had to have approval from the Bowersox and the Proudfoots to hand out flyers. Then they suggested we could go to the high school possibly and pass out flyers there. It's a mile away from the event. Nowhere close to all the people. They don't want this flyer passed out. They do not want Sebastian found. And if you're going to pass out a flyer, make sure to pass out the flyer of him when he was like 8 and 9 years old. Make that one make sense.
Not the only people in the world that need help.
That's true.
So
That's very true.
We're just waiting our turn in the lottery system, I guess, for somebody to reach back out to us.
Equisearch at all?
They were here 2 weeks ago.
Could they circle back and come back and do another round for a couple, like a week or so?
We're hoping. We've reached out.
Okay. Well, for those of y'all who are watching right now that have any connections to any other search, rescue,
Island High, I believe what it is, and I say this by experience because I did our city events and our county events. I've done that for years. And you have an event, then you have committees. And I'm sure for the barbecue cook-off part of it, the Proud Sox and the Bauer Sox are part of that committee. And knowing that Sebastian is connected to them, they decided to have their approval, I guess. I don't understand why you would need approval. We have an event here that's a 5-day event. I stand outside at the entrance, pass out missing flyers. One flyer with both Sebastian and Summer on it. I don't pay for a spot. That is something that is good. It is something that has always been encouraged. It's crazy. But yes, the city of Hendersonville is the one who puts on the event, and I'm sure there is committees, and that's probably how the family ties in.
type of organizations, can you please reach out to them? It takes 2 seconds to send out that message to that friend, to that person who's the higher up, whatever it may be. Okay. We really need to get this young boy back home as quickly as possible. So please, if you can, reach out, because we got a lot of people watching right now, a gang of people watching right now. If you guys can please use your connections for the greater good, that'd be greatly appreciated.
We got some information for you.
Let's go.
All right.
Okay, before he goes into this, I don't know how they do it there in Tennessee. I know here in Texas, I just made calls to see if different people would like to be on the committee. We had different committees for different areas of the festivals we've done. And I would just make contact. And it was part of my social media stuff that I did, where I would put out a thing for volunteers to volunteer for the day, or if you'd like to be on the committee with the planning process. So that's how I did it, but I don't know about the state of Tennessee. Now here's Seth going to say he had some news.
The rudder at Anchor High Marina has agreed to allow us to use their parking lot as a command center until searches are over and Sebastian is found. The address is 126 River Road, Hendersonville, Tennessee, 37075.
126 River Road, Hendersonville, Tennessee,
Yep.
37075. Correct?
That is correct.
Okay, I'm just going to repeat it again for everybody. Okay, and what is that facility called? Just so everybody, if it has something written on the side of it or something.
TC, I believe you have to hand the flyers to them, because there's an ordinance, I believe, in the state of Tennessee where you can't put flyers on the windshields. Like a lot of times you'll go get in your car at an event and there's like a flyer on your windshield up under your windshield wiper right there. I don't think you can do that in the state of Tennessee. You have to actually hand it to them or post it somewhere where you've already got approval on.
Like that.
It's called the rudder.
The rudder. Okay, everybody. Of course, you heard Seth. That's breaking news right now, just so you guys know. Please, if you're in the area, if you're 45 minutes away, if you are 30 minutes away, if you're an hour away, it doesn't matter. It takes 2 seconds to hop in a ar and drive your butt down and help out.
There will be no searches on Sunday due to Easter.
Okay.
I want everybody to spend time with your family. You don't ever know when you're not going to have them again.
Yes, Karen. Hello. Welcome, welcome. Karen said, let me get back to it. It jumped. I live in Houston, Texas. Cajun Navy saved so many lives when the Hurricane Harvey flooded our entire city. They found missing in their searches and cleaned up in most recent floods on the Guadalupe. Yes. I'm telling y'all, the United Cajun Navy has got an amazing reputation. They do some very good work. Karen, you're only a couple of hours from me, about 2 hours north, straight up Highway 59. But for them to get death threats and to be chased out of town, their families getting threats, people don't want this child found. That's all you can say. Hey, Cinderella.
So enjoy the time that you have with them. They're saying that they'll have searches tomorrow from 9:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. and that all other times it will be 9:30 to 6 Monday, starting on Monday.
Okay. Okay. So you guys know the rudder. Okay. The place is called the Rudder. It's 126 River Road, Hendersonville.
It's a restaurant. If you're hungry, feel free to get something to eat.
It's a restaurant as well. So it's a restaurant called the Rudder. The address, again, just for everybody who's watching, everybody, even those in the nosebleed seats, okay? We need your help too. The address for the Rudder restaurant is 126 River Road, Hendersonville, Tennessee. The zip code is 37075. Again, 126 River Road, Hendersonville, Tennessee. Zip code is 37075. They start tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. till 6 p.m. They're taking Sunday off because it is the holy day. It is Sunday, or Easter Sunday, I'm sorry. But they will reconvene back on Monday at that same spot, the Rudder Restaurant, at 9:30 a.m. And hopefully that will be the headquarters or the meeting spot, the rendezvous spot from this point on, okay? Just so you guys know. All right. Again, please go and check those things out. If you can get down there, it takes 20 minutes. Get out there and just do 20 minutes of a search. That's 20 minutes that we can get closer to finding Sebastian Rogers. Okay. Now, the other thing, though, too, I do want to bring up as well. Of course, there is a reward for any information on Sebastian's whereabouts. Can you explain a little bit more about how to add to the reward if they want to help add to the reward?
There's an attorney, which I gave you that information. I don't know if you can post it or not.
Yes.
But
now, in the beginning, before At Night ever came into play, before the FBI had a reward or anything, there was an attorney that talked to Seth and said, if you would like to start a reward fund, it can go through my office. Money collected for that reward, it all went to the attorney. It never passed through Seth's hands at all. Each person that donated received a receipt from the attorney's office. It went into a fund, and it sat there, never touched. A lot of people took that whole thing and created havoc over it. There was nothing to it.
I'll pull it up.
There's an attorney in Nashville. This reward was put up by the businesses in Hendersonville. And if anybody wants to donate to the reward, the last time I checked, it was at $3,500. You would take in a check into the attorney. The attorney will give you a receipt for it. It goes into an escrow. And that's right there. James Brian Lewis. And then he'll give you a receipt. It'll go into an escrow account. If information leads to the whereabouts of Sebastian Rogers and the rescue of him, either or, let's go with rescue, then they'll turn around and that's the reward that they'll give. It's at $3,500.
So if you guys can contribute, if you're interested in contributing and you don't want to do the GoFundMe, but you want to contribute in another way, you can do the reward. Okay. All the information is right here on the screen as we speak. So please go over there, check it out. If you can donate, that'll be greatly, greatly appreciated. You know, one thing though, I'm curious about is, you know, when we talk about your GoFundMe, and I will be throwing these back up here, guys, again, before the show's over and before this conversation is over, and the GoFundMe as well. That will be put back up here in a second. But I'm curious, the GoFundMe, speaking of that, I heard things that Proudfoots were upset with you about doing this GoFundMe. What's going on with that? Is there anything you can, tell us about that? Why is there tension about a GoFundMe?
Chris, Katie spoke with me and we agreed not to do a GoFundMe Sebastian Rogers. And my sister asked if she could start a GoFundMe just for me to help pay my bills while I'm looking for Sebastian. And I told her that's fine. Just don't attach Sebastian to it at all. And she said, okay. And she didn't do that. And Chris got upset and threatened to get an attorney.
His sister starts a GoFundMe for him to help him pay bills. Chris gets his panties in a wad and threatens to get an attorney. Can someone make any sense whatsoever to me? Because it doesn't. It doesn't. Makes no sense. None. The amount of money that was paid for Stephen Fisher to come in as a private investigator and have him on retainer would have went huge towards that reward fund. Would have helped Seth make flyers, posters, all the things he was doing. But they felt the need to waste that money. And he's going to threaten to get a lawyer to get the GoFundMe page taken down. It had nothing to do with Katie, nothing to do with Chris, nothing that's going to benefit Sebastian other than his father agreed and said he would use that money for his bills, for gas. I mean, it's just, I don't know. Doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Pascals speaks.
Personally, I'd like to thank everybody that donates to that because That is paying my bills. And I did take a leave of absence. And I haven't been back to work since the 26th.
And I will say, I am very surprised that you're, sorry, I'm just putting this in here, the GoFundMe, just so it's here for everybody to see. Okay. But I am very surprised that you were able to take a leave of absence without any issues at all whatsoever. Yet we heard, I don't know if they're still on their vacay, but they jumped into an RV and kick rocks. What are your thoughts on that? Because apparently it was because he needed to go back down there for work. What are your thoughts on that? I'm just curious.
I don't have any thoughts on that, man. This ain't about them. This is about Sebastian. They're adults. They're going to do whatever they're going to do. My son, on the other hand, is not an adult. And it's on the adult to find him. And that's what I'm doing.
Okay. I mean, what more do I say for that one? His father takes a leave of absence from work, and he uses every time of it to search. He recently took a leave of absence, or sorry, vacation time, and spent it all outside the sheriff's department, but yet we're not supposed to look badly towards the Proudfoots because they didn't take time off of work to search. They took time off of work and went on vacation. Sure, pass out flyers while you're there. But what would make them think Sebastian would have walked all the way to Oregon? Just wondering.
You gotcha. Now, I know a lot of people have asked a lot of these kind of questions about Sebastian. But I do have to ask anyway. Is there anything that would, I mean, is there anything in particular that warms him up quickly, you know, gets him very excited about things, or makes him become what, you know, something that would connect someone to him quickly? Is it music? Is it video games? Is it comic books? Is it movies? Is there anything in particular that if someone was to see him from afar, is there anything that they could use or do to be able to bring him closer so we can call 911 to get him back to you?
Just call his name.
Just call his name.
Call his name. And if he turns around and sandy blonde hair, he may or may not still have his glasses. He had them, from my understanding, because they're missing out of his mama's house. But if he responds to his name and turns around and you see that smile right there, or even if you don't, you just see him, he may or may not be smiling right now. I don't know what kind of state he might be in. Just call 911. Call 911 immediately. He's going to need help. He's going to need help.
A few more questions. I know these are tough, and I know you've answered these a couple times, but I do have to ask. Now, has he ever had any type of erratic behavior? Has he ever had any moments of rebellion at all?
Did you really just ask if a teenage boy had a moment of rebellion?
Yeah, I know that was a dumb question, but I got to ask it anyway. Would he retaliate?
That's kind of funny there. For any of you who have raised a teenage, especially a teenage boy, rebellion? Oh, yeah.
In a way that would be like something like him disappearing, hiding away for a little while, so on and so forth. That's what I mean.
No, he's not done that. I mean, the boy likes to try to sometimes hide and scare you, but it's like, it's not one of those runaway type things. He's never been one that elopes. He's never been one that wants to be away. So, no.
Okay, I understand. Okay, I do have a question, and this is between, well, you and me and a whole bunch of other people here, but
Actually, me in the world.
In the world, but I do have to ask you this because it is something that has been thrown out there quite a bit. So I say this with all the love in my heart, okay? Just a precursor. But there has been a lot of conversation about you allegedly having some sort of insurance, life insurance on Sebastian. Can you explain that a little bit?
I've had a Gerber grow up plan on him since he was like 4 years old.
Okay.
Okay, so let's make all of this crystal clear, okay? Because, Seth had life insurance on his son. That became a big, huge issue on other channels, a whole discussion that lasted for months. How many of you remember having your baby and receiving the Gerber insurance plan? It's very, very reasonable. And that's exactly what he did. He got that. Yes. Allegedly, TJ's right. Katie has life insurance on Sebastian as well. Right. Jennifer says, as a mom of two boys, I can speak on rebellion. Right. That was a funny thing. Yeah. Okay. Katie was a recipient. I don't know if that's changed, but yeah. Yeah, see, the Gerber plan can't be paid out. It's only for Sebastian. Yeah, it wasn't much worth a lot, But she is military, guys. Even though she did her time, she got out and all of that, she still has benefits. I'm sure she has a life insurance benefit through the military for her child. So I don't know why everybody from the beginning decided to jump on that bandwagon. I don't see that being part of the issue here or the reason. Yeah, Scranton, you got life insurance on your kids, but no amount of money could replace them. Exactly. Okay, Miss Kathy said, my mom had one on me from Gerber. I cashed it out and I got $1,000. There you go. That's not even a drop in the bucket, is it?
Because I know that that's something that a lot of speculation is brewing around that specifically. So I'm just asking because, of course, that's just something that people have been bringing up and having conversations about.
Understand? Yeah, I think everybody should have insurance on their children. And with the Gerber Grow Up plan, the younger they are, I think you can put an insurance. I used to sell insurance in California.
Right.
I had my license for it. I think the youngest you could put insurance was on a 15-year-old newborn. And that is the cheapest you'll ever get it. And with Gerber Grow Up, the price doesn't change. So when he turns 18, his policy literally will double, and yet he won't be paying more for it than when he was 4 years old when I got it for him.
I see. Okay.
Now,
you know, I mean, that's just such a simple thing. But of course, it got blown up into such a huge whirlwind. More distractions, in my opinion, you know? I mean, pretty much if you have a life insurance policy, you have to have a death certificate to actually get that money. And we've not seen one yet for Sebastian.
And, say he wanted to take money out against it after he's 18 or 21, say he needed, something for school, for college, whatnot, he can actually borrow against his life insurance
I
policy
wondered the same thing, Daisy.
because it's not a term, it's a whole life. So he can actually use that kind of like a savings plan.
I see. That makes sense to me.
And
That makes
here's another
sense.
one. I mean, if you have a newborn child, what was it? I think he told me if you put $4,000 into an IRA for your child just once, by the time they're 50, they all have over $1 million in their IRA. And that's just a one-time deposit. There's other things I should have done when he was younger that now I know. You should
Yeah,
always be preparing for your children's future, not just your own.
no doubt. It's your legacy, right?
He sure is.
It's your legacy.
One day he's going to be my age or older and be like, my dad did a lot of things for me. I think I want to do the same things for my kids.
No doubt. I'm really praying for you, my brother. I am really praying for you. Is there anything else before we wrap up the show, this conversation? Is there anything else that you want to share with everyone out here before we sign off?
Thank you, everybody, for your prayers. Please keep your heads up, your eyes open. What if you all could be the person that sees my son? It could be the reason that I get him back.
I'm praying for you.
Thank
I'm
you.
praying for Sebastian. I'm praying for everyone that is looking right now. My heart goes out to Sebastian. My heart goes out to you, my brother. And you know what? My heart does go out to the Proudfoots as well. Regardless of what the court of public opinion thinks or how I feel or anything of that sort, I hope that if there is information that's being withheld by any parties or anyone around this particular case, I just pray that there is an Easter miracle and they find some moments to speak out and speak the truth.
Amen.
That's what I'm praying for.
What you do in the dark will be set free in the light.
What you do in the dark will be set free in the light. I pray that statement rings so true in this case.
Amen to that. Amen to that.
Tomorrow is a holy Saturday. Today was a good Friday. It could have been better. I'm praying for that Easter miracle.
Bless his heart. He wanted an
Me too,
Easter
brother.
miracle.
Thank you, Pascal.
Easter came
Anytime.
and went twice.
Anytime, Seth. You know I got you. You know everybody in this chat got you. Okay? We are team green heart emoji out here throughout all of these internet streets right now. All we want is clarity. All we want is transparency and the truth. And of course, finding this young man.
Amen.
That's all we want, just like you, right?
That's right.
So we are rooting for you, and we got you. What are you going to say, Seth?
Said that's all I want. I just want my son back. I want my son found so I can have him back. Because right now he's lost.
Me too. I do want him found. And I think we all can agree in the chat right now. So, Seth, I'm going to let you go so you can continue doing.
All right. Well, thank you to the Pascals Show for that interview that we have to go back to and listen to. And Jennifer, kudos to you. She said, I'm taking flyers with me on my cruise coming up. Good for you. You know, yeah, Daisy, it's really sad, but there's not a lot left to say. That's the hard part, you know? And I want to keep talking about Sebastian every single day. But it just gets hard sometimes. And y'all pray for me with it because I keep trying. I keep trying. You know, we put out a lot of possibilities over here. We talk about situations and words that have actually been said, words that were never said, that kind of thing. And you know, you get criticized, you get cut down for it. And even those who say they're out for the same exact thing, they don't want others to have a different thought process or put out a different version of what it could be. And therefore, being 100% honest with you guys, my channel is, we're struggling here. Seems as if we're sitting dormant right now. I want better for all of us because the more we have listening and paying attention, the more we get to spread the awareness for these kids. And I don't want to let Sebastian down. And it is so hard to talk about all this every single day when you see the parents, all three of them, talking on interviews, and it's so plain as day, crystal clear as you may, exactly who's wanting Sebastian found and who's really causing more distraction than anything. And that's just my opinion, 100%. And just so that anyone listening, myself, along with my moderators, subscribers, and anyone in chat, express their opinions. On this channel, we present speculation, possibilities, and show things found for everyone to decide for themselves what opinion they have. We're here for helpful purposes only. We are not here for drama, hate, or anything negative. Please respect all opinions. My content is not to be used in a negative way at any time. That is a blanket statement, disclaimer for me and for each and every one of you to be able to have your opinions. And it's always good to know we can have our opinions. It might be different than what I'm saying or what I think. And you can give me your opinion, and it's the way you present it that makes me open my eyes a little more. But when it's presented with hate and disgust and that kind of thing, it makes it hard for me to even want to listen to anything that someone has to say like that. But I try my best. I do. I try my best. Guys, I'm not going to keep going with some of Seth's interviews because we had pages on the very first interview with Katie and Chris. Things that were said just didn't add up. Seth is trying to find his son. He may make a comment here and there that might not sound quite appropriate or something, but I've yet to find anything he has said that leads me to believe that man took his child and is hiding him somewhere. Oh, I don't know, Island High. I couldn't tell you. Are you talking about the lady here on our channel that was talking to Seth? He has not reached out to her at all, if that's who it is you're talking about. She has several law degrees, criminal justice background, and has very much, very many, several contacts, and knows ways to help Seth. He has not chosen to reach out to her. I don't understand it myself. The only thing I can think of is he probably is to the point where he doesn't trust many anymore. But we've done what we can to reach out to him. I do agree when Carl was talking the other day on the phone about the protesting and standing outside the sheriff's department and things. I don't see anything positive with protest other than just people seeing it. Other than people that aren't sure if he's still missing will see and say, oh, he must still be missing. It helps in those kind of ways. But it doesn't really do anything to change the mind of the people inside you're protesting against. It just, more than anything, I believe, in my opinion, just kind of irks them off a little more. And so, do I suggest more protest? Not really. But that's their opinions and their, decisions to make. Just My Girls, thank you for gifting a membership. That is so super sweet of you. If you were gifted that membership, please tell Just My Girls thank you so much, because that was so gracious of her. And welcome to our new member. Welcome to the South.
Welcome to the South. We break that good stuff out. We got enough to go around. So can I get a right and get down? Welcome to the South.
Thank you, Just My Girls. That is so sweet of you. I appreciate that so much. And welcome to our new member. They'll be able to join us next week for our members live. Hey, Sharon. You're welcome. I'm doing my best. There's days where I feel like I just don't do enough, and it hurts my heart, because that young man should be found. There should be something somewhere to help out with finding him. Look at Jen coming in with 5 more memberships. Jen, oh, sweet friend. Thank you so much for that. If y'all were one of the lucky people to get a membership from our beautiful Jen in Georgia, please tell her thank you. That is so gracious. And welcome again. Welcome to the South.
Welcome, welcome to the South. We break that good stuff out. We got enough to go around. So can I get a right and get down? Welcome to the South.
Thank you, Jen. Love you so much, my friend. Island, hi, looky here. Thank you, Lolly Mods Chat, for the information. Appreciate this. Oh, thank you. That was very kind of you. I appreciate you, and you are welcome. Anytime we can give you information, we're here for it. And if I don't know, I'm just going to be straight up with you. But thank you. That's for you. I appreciate that so much. You know, I can only tell you what I do know as facts, and then what I don't know, I can let you know. You know, I can assume or something like that. But yes, that's what we're here for. Oh, I love that song too. I love Dave Finley. He is one of my favorites. My nephew fell in love with his voice and his songs, and he kept telling me, this guy Dave, you got to get my guy Dave, you know. And I had an event local and needed someone to perform, so I called. He came out. My nephew was like a little kid in a candy store, followed that guy all around. They became buddies. It was so funny to watch my grown up nephew acting like a little teeny bopper. It was funny. But yes, we love our Dave Finley over here. But yeah, great discussion. And thank you for your thoughts and everything you put in chat. I know it wasn't always, you know, agreeing with everything we said, but you did it so respectful. And I have to thank you for that, because it does make me stop and think. I get emails from people, and it's so good to read, because when they tell me something or their opinion, it's my responsibility, being a creator and bringing information, to look at their point of view. So, I'm not sure, Miss Rita, but if you go to his channel and go to his, at the top there's a word that says more, and if you click on that, his page description there may have his Venmo on there, but I'm not real sure. But I think he does have them listed on there. Most creators do, and that's how you find it. You go to his page, and at the top, right under his picture, there's a little description, but it says more, and you click on it, and that's where you'll find that. But anyways, well, guys, I'm going to let y'all get out of here. I've held y'all up. Golly, we've been going almost 3 hours. I've enjoyed it. Just getting to hear Seth. He was out searching and took the time to stop and talk to Pascal. TJ, can you drop Seth's link, please? Or one of you mods, if you don't mind. There's a lot to be heard from Sebastian's mother and his father both. I believe I've learned, in my opinion, I have learned more about who Sebastian is from his father than I have from his mother. I got stuck with, thank you, ladies. I got stuck with Sebastian being a young kid, not quite caught up to himself. And yet we find out it wasn't quite like that. So it was good to hear the things he talked about. Tomorrow we're going to cover some other stuff, but I'm going to play one of the videos that Seth did early on where he shows SeaWorld when Sebastian was young. Y'all come back and watch that with us because it's beautiful to see Sebastian and not just on a flyer of him being missing. But before I let you go, we'll be back again tomorrow. It's probably going to be around the same time. I try to come on before everybody gets going in the evening. If y'all can join us, I would love to have you all back. Tonight, before you go to sleep, say a prayer for Sebastian. He deserves better than what he's getting. He deserves so much better. And there's so much evil and hate out in this world. And unfortunately, some of it is, I'm afraid, the reason why Sebastian is missing. So keep him all in your prayers and ask the Lord to just help someone know where to go to find him. Lead them in the right direction. And let's get this baby found. All righty, guys. Y'all have a super good night. I love you all. I appreciate you all so, so much. And until tomorrow, love and hugs, everybody. Good night.